The people around you who are quietly getting rich, they're not grinding harder than you, they're actually doing less. And that sounds like something a motivational poster would say, until you notice it's true. Think about the guy in your friend group who never talks about money, never stresses about bills at dinner, never complains about his salary, never posts hustle quotes, and yet somehow, 5 years from now, he's the one buying a house while everyone else is still calculating rent. What does he know that the rest of you don't? I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. But first, there are two things I believed about wealth for years that were completely backwards. And if you're still believing them, they're costing you every single month. I'll get to those. But let's start somewhere most people don't expect. The first habit has nothing to do with money. It's about what you do in the first 45 minutes after you wake up. Not journaling, not affirmations, not cold showers. Those things are fine. But the people who build wealth quietly, they have a morning that's completely boring by design. Same coffee, same chair, same 10 minutes of sitting with their own thoughts before the phone comes out. That's it. Researchers at Duke University found that over 40% of our daily actions aren't decisions at all. They're habits running on autopilot. The wealthy don't win the day in those first 45 minutes because they're being productive. They win because they're protecting their mental clarity before the world starts pulling at it. Every decision you make after that first hour is made from whatever state you're in at the end of that first hour. This is the foundation, and almost nobody talks about it. The second habit is the one that'll make you uncomfortable. Stop tracking your spending. I know, every personal finance video tells you to budget, to use apps, to color code your categories. But here's what actually works for people who build wealth without thinking about it. They automate the important part and ignore the rest. The first of every month before they do anything else, a fixed percentage moves automatically to savings, to an index fund, to whatever vehicle they've chosen. Done. The money is gone before they can spend it. Everything that's left is guilt-free. They never have to white-knuckle their way through a coffee purchase. The psychological load of constant budgeting drains willpower. And willpower, it turns out, is the one resource wealth builders refuse to waste on small decisions. Here's the first thing I got wrong for years. I thought the wealthy were disciplined, like obsessively, painfully disciplined, tracking every dollar, waking up at 5 a.m. with a spreadsheet open. No, they're strategic. There's a massive difference. Discipline is doing something hard every day. Strategy is designing your life so the hard thing becomes automatic. One costs energy, the other doesn't. This distinction will change how you think about every habit on this list. Habit 3, they read differently than you do. Not more. Differently. One book, repeated. Not 10 books a year. One book that gets annotated, marked up, returned to. There's a line from Nassim Taleb's work that the wealthy tend to absorb over time, not because they read it once and remembered it, but because they keep returning to the same ideas until the ideas stop being concepts and start being instincts. The wealthiest people I've studied personally don't have bigger reading lists. They have deeper reading habits. One good idea that changes a behavior is worth 50 ideas that pass through your eyes and disappear. Habit 4 is about who you're eating dinner with. Not in a pretentious way, just in a data way. Economists have shown repeatedly that your income will be within striking distance of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not because rich people rub off on you by proximity, but because the conversations change. When your circle talks about their weekend purchases, you think about purchases. When your circle talks about their investment returns, their side revenue, their equity, your brain starts running different calculations. You don't need to dump your friends. But you might want to notice what your current circle makes you think about most, and then deliberately add conversations that expand that range. A dinner, a podcast, a comment section even. The inputs change the outputs. If this is already landing differently than you expected, drop a comment below. I want to know what habit hit you first. Habit 5 is the one that separates the people who build wealth from the people who study wealth. They act while the information is incomplete. Not recklessly, but they've accepted that perfect information never arrives. A 31-year-old named Derek once told me he spent 3 years reading about investing before buying his first index fund. 3 years of income, lost to hesitation. Then he bought in, watched it do almost nothing for 14 months. Almost sold, didn't. And by year 6, the account had tripled. He didn't have better information by year 6. He had time. Time he would have lost if he'd waited for certainty. The wealth-building habits that feel effortless aren't effortless because they're easy. They're effortless because the person has stopped requiring certainty before moving. Now here's the reframe, the one I promised you at the beginning. Most people believe wealth is about income. More salary, more wealth. It's the assumption baked into almost every conversation about money. And it's backwards. Wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you don't spend. This sounds obvious until you do the math. A person earning $120,000 a year and spending $118,000 is poorer than a person earning $65,000 and spending $48,000. One of them is building, one of them is treading water and looking good doing it. The gap isn't talent, it's not discipline. It's the relationship between earning and keeping. The wealthy have a gap between what comes in and what goes out, and they protect that gap like their life depends on it. Because financially, it does. Habit 6, they don't talk about their money goals publicly. Not because they're secretive, because they've discovered something strange. When you announce a financial goal to people who care about you, your brain registers the social acknowledgement as partial achievement. You get a dopamine hit from the announcement, and that hit reduces the urgency to actually follow through. The research on this is real and has been replicated. Wealthy people set goals privately. They talk about results after the fact. This is why the people who post the most about wanting to be rich are rarely the ones who get there. Habit 7 is so boring I almost didn't include it. They raise their income ceiling on purpose, once a year, minimum. Not by job hopping constantly, by making a case internally, by adding a skill that changes their market value, by picking up something that didn't exist in their job description 2 years ago. The boring version, they treat their salary like a product they're continuously improving. And the silent byproduct of this, their lifestyle doesn't inflate at the same rate as their income. Every raise doesn't immediately become a new monthly expense. Part of it disappears into the gap. Habit 8, they spend money on time, not stuff. The $400 home appliance that saves 2 hours a week. The $30 Uber instead of a 2-hour transit commute when time is tight. The meal prep service when it means 3 extra hours for a side project. This isn't luxury, it's asset management. Their most finite asset is hours, and they spend money to protect it. The people who buy things to signal wealth are playing a different game. The people quietly building it are buying back time. Habit 9 is the one they never tell you. They have a number. One number. A specific, written-down number that represents financial freedom to them. Not, I want to be rich. A number. $800,000 in investments generating passive income. $2 million in a retirement account. A business worth X. It doesn't matter what the number is, and what matters is that they have one. Without a number, every financial decision is made in a vacuum. With a number, everything gets evaluated against a single filter. Does this help or hurt that number? Clarity is a habit. Vagueness is expensive. And the 10th habit is the one that makes all the others stick. They've stopped waiting to feel ready. Not just with money, with everything. The investment they weren't sure about. The business idea they almost talked themselves out of. The negotiation they kept pushing back. Readiness they've learned is not a feeling that arrives. It's a story the brain tells to avoid risk. The wealthiest people in your life, the quiet ones, the ones who don't post about it, they moved when they were 60% ready, maybe 50, and they figured out the rest while moving. This is what nobody tells you about wealth-building habits. They're not impressive in the moment. There's no viral moment where you make one big right decision and everything changes. It's a Tuesday morning and the money moved automatically, and you drank your boring coffee and read the same dog-eared book again, and had dinner with someone who made you think differently, and you did that last Tuesday too. And you'll do it next Tuesday. And 5 years from now, Someone in your friend group will look at your life and wonder what you know that they don't. Now you know. If this hit different, subscribe. Share this video with your loved ones. Who needs this? I'll see you in the next one.